Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack 149, all about Mario Direct Day. There has been a freaking Nintendo Direct. Finally, the first time for this trio to be able to talk about a proper Direct. That's Rebecca, that's Garrett. I want to thank everybody that helps produce the show over at patreon.com/PSVG. Thank you, Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh, the Bonesaw Borboni, Chris McElfresh, Devin Tyus, Kyle Heyman, Michael Masick, The Egg, Shin, Zach Bradshaw, Nick Fahaber, Paul Calicote, and Rob Emanuel. Thank you for doing all the things that you do. Be on the lookout in your email, if you're hearing this the day after it went live, for a Patreon announcement that is coming soon. Guys.
Yes.
It happened.
It happened.
It happened.
We talked about it for all this time. It wasn't happening. Then it was happening.
I've been talking about this since we joined the show around March.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this,
Yeah.
and now it's finally here.
As Jeff Grubb said, it's what they're doing.
Pretty much.
Let's bypass what we're up to and let's just get right into the meat and potatoes of why people are listening to the show today, hopefully. Super Mario 3D All-Stars is out September 18th. That's
Cannot believe it's
2
been
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's so quick. Oh my gosh.
I didn't believe that it would happen this month.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Get back to my notes.
Yeah.
All right, let's walk these through. The game textures are the same. Geometry and polygons are being rendered at 1080p. That kind of gives them that sharper look that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything looks a little bit better. Mario 64 will run at 960 by 720p. It's still 4:3 aspect. It's not even widescreen. Mario Sunshine is 920 by 1080, and it got the 16:9 treatment, so it's widescreen. It fills the whole frame. 720 on handheld. Galaxy 920 by 1080, 720 handheld. They do say at most, and they mention that in their press briefing, at most. So I'm wondering if it dips. It sounds like maybe it's a variable resolution.
It sounds like it's just not guaranteed in all places.
At all times.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy supports TV, tabletop, and handheld modes. For those of you wondering about motion controls, they have optional motion controls, and it looks like they are doing all of the star and gesture stuff based on the touchscreen commands. So you'll be able to play on your Switch Lite and then rub the screen or something to do all the stuff that they're doing. Mm-hmm. I really hope that they have a, like the spin attack. I hope they map that to a button. I presume that they would, so you're not constantly having to do it, because that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So I don't think that's really worth doing anything. Full soundtrack for each game is included in the in-game music player. Before we talk about the inevitable downside of this announcement, let's just talk about here. What did you guys think of the games?
Can't wait. I haven't played, as Rebecca, I haven't played 64 or Sunshine, and I played Galaxy just forever ago now. It's going to be so nice getting back into this and playing a couple of these games for the first time. Initially when I saw 64, I thought it was going to be a pre and post thing. It's like, oh, this is what it looks like originally.
They're about to show how great it is.
Yeah, I kind of got that expectation, and I think a lot of people did. And when I think about it at the end, it's like, you know what? They never promised like this new remastered or whatever. And they, showing off just these 3 games alone in these texture packs, I think it's just going to be okay for me. I'm still all in for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was easy for us to get our hopes and expectations way bigger If this had never gotten leaked, I think it would have been a bigger surprise, a bigger shock. I think it's easier for us to say we wish that they could have done a little bit more for them, improved a little bit more, added a little bit more to each one. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm in the minority where not everybody is getting 3 brand new 3D Mario games. But that is the case for me. So I, in a way, almost appreciate that this is going to be close to their original experience. But yeah, I can understand the little bit of disappointment that some people do have. But it is hard to complain for all 3 of these really big, awesome games for one package of $60 on the Switch, on the go.
64 didn't surprise me, as you recall, when we were leading up to the rumors. We got the update that it wasn't going to be the remastered version that I was hoping for. So I wasn't surprised when I saw what I saw. I think not having widescreen is a huge mistake. And
That's right.
To be quite honest, I think that's kind of the bare minimum that I would expect in a re-release. I think if you were to ask me, like, Donnie, what is the bare minimum thing they could do to sell you this game again? I would have been like, at least make it fit the screen. I don't know. The fact that you still have those black bars is unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any technical challenges behind like making it widescreen? I just don't know.
No, they do it on Dolphin.
Really, right?
They've done it on Dolphin. It's there. You can look up Mario 64 HD packs on PC, and they're way wider screen than Switch. So it's definitely doable. They just didn't. I'm going to say something that sounds like I'm defending them. I'm going to let everybody know that I'm not. It's not the intention behind what I'm saying, because I think they could do a lot more. And I do think we should expect more. To be quite honest, in a world where we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 and the Halo collection and Crash Team Racing and Spyro and all these remasters that are doing it right, this is Nintendo not doing it. Yeah. Now, that said, I'm wondering if there is kind of an artist type perspective to this where they don't want to. They want the game to be remembered in its original form. That's the only real excuse that I could come up with this.
If that's the case, they would put the Nintendo 64 Virtual Console on the Switch and give it to us like that.
You would hope, because that's basically what we're getting. They are slightly up-resed. And they're not even like fully up-resed. They're slightly up-resed.
Right.
So we are basically getting virtual console releases. Now, if you're upset about the price, I think N64 Virtual Console releases, I want to say, are $7 a piece. They're like $6.99, I think, on other virtual eShops. The Wii Virtual Console releases were $20. I think they're $19.99. Year to date, we don't have GameCube, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we have GameCube at all. So you would imagine that they would be somewhere in between, but probably $19.99. So if you add that all together, it's $47. And then you have this little extra package and the music and everything. And, you know, they did add some work to it. So if you're looking for a way to justify the cost and you're upset about that, I mean, I can't help you there. Everybody's got to, come up with what they're going to pay for it. I am absolutely going to buy it. So I'm definitely going to replay it. I'm very excited to replay it. I've been excited to replay it this whole time. I mean, to me, they are bringing some of their best games ever in the Mario space, to a console that so many people dearly beloved. So yeah, to me, it's completely worth it. Now, if you don't think it's worth it, or you thought you were going to wait for it to be cheaper to get later, I have some unfortunate news to share with you. A limited production of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars launches exclusively for Nintendo Switch family systems on September 18th and will be available approximately until March 31st, 2021. And they denote that this includes digital. They will be delisting the game on March 31st.
Yeah, and I think that's the big talk of the day. I've been hearing lots of opinions about that.
I wrote this down. We've seen this before from Nintendo. They did this with the Super NES and the NES Classics. They've done it with Four Swords Anniversary. They did it with the Ambassador games. You might even remember that they did this with the original Mario All-Stars on Wii re-release, where the first run sold out, and after some time and demand, they actually did release a second run, but that also sold out. So that's not to defend it. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just saying that if you're surprised, don't be. They've done it before.
I'm a little bit surprised for different reasons. I think if we're trying to be understanding towards Nintendo for having, and again, I'm not calling this a slower year. I know a lot of people are calling it a slower year. And then if they're taking this off, that we only have a limited time to buy it, there's so many people that might not be able to afford it right now. We're in a pandemic. It's give and take.
Hey,
it's wrong.
You're not,
it's wrong.
No, you're not going to hear anything from me. This is garbage.
Yeah.
This is absolute garbage.
And I see so many people out there saying, oh my gosh, it's a limited release. I'm going to buy 2 copies of the game because it's going to be rare someday.
I'm buying 2.
It's not going to be rare someday. I hate to say it to you. It's not. And they're winning. Okay. They're winning by getting that extra money out of you because they can.
That's exactly why.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year or down the line, they sell you these games separately. For their packages, for $40 each or whatever, because this collection is the limited time item, and they'll put them out separately for 40, 60, whatever they decide to, just to squeeze a little bit of extra money out of you.
Sure. I also heard a theory of putting Mario 64 into the N64, Switch Online system.
Around March or whenever they delist this.
And that makes total sense to me. Yeah. And I understand why Nintendo's doing it. They are creating demand. I could have waited a little bit more, but now that they put a set day, it's like, all right, we're delisting it in March. This is well reserved. This is going to be a special kind. It's just like, come on, guys.
I think you're right. I don't think it's necessarily just to create like panic demand. I think maybe they look at it and they look at the investment that they put into the remasters, and they probably got some feedback that matches some of the feedback that we saw earlier in our chat, where folks were like, I can wait on it. I don't need to replay it right away.
Right.
So they're giving you incentive to buy right away. You better buy it before you
push as many sales as quickly as possible. Ryan wants to know, do you think we'll look back on this as one of the most limited Switch releases of all time with expensive resales on eBay?
I think there is plenty to assume that once they sell out, they'll do a re-release, because they typically have for retail stuff. I also think because of the amount of Switches that are in the wild, that they will print a lot of copies of this, and a lot of people will have them. And I do believe that scalpers will buy many copies, and I think people will buy more than 1 copy. Because
I've seen lots of people saying that they're going to buy 2 copies.
I'm buying 2 copies. I'm buying 2 copies. I just happen to be flush with eShop credit. So I'm buying a digital version to play, and I'm buying a copy that I'm going to leave sealed. I'm going to put it on my shelf.
That answers Drew's question then. He wants to know if you're doing it digital or physical, and you're doing one of each.
Doing both.
I pre-ordered. You're doing both, Garrett?
I'm debating. I pre-ordered the physical, of course. Digital, I'm not too sure. I'll think about it. And I have till March. That's actually quite a few months for me to think about it.
You don't necessarily have till March for physical, though.
I already pre-ordered physical, so I'm fine with that. Okay. Yeah. I'll think about it.
I pre-ordered physical as well.
I do think that these are classic games, and I've already said that many, many times, and I'm very excited to see Mario 64 return. Another thing that I'm upset about is I'm upset the DS editions weren't included.
Oh, really?
Or at least they weren't mentioned that they were included, and so you could play as Yoshi and stuff. It would have just been a nice thing to do. They have it. They've done it. Why not do it a little bit more? But you could say...
And it's just additional features, right?
Right.
It's just like...
Yeah, how different is it? Is it just Yoshi as a playable character? I know that the DS has the touch screen.
I don't remember the whole thing, to be honest with you. I haven't played it in 6 years. But I was thinking that, there would have been a nice thing to add on, just kind of a little nod there. My intention, if you're going to release a 3D All-Stars, the reason I was so excited is you would hope that they would make it the definitive edition to play these games. And now with the limited amount that they've done to it, now you could almost argue that maybe they're not. You could at least argue that they're not. I still think they are, but you could still argue that they're not. Because it doesn't seem like they've reworked the game at all. There's not a whole lot of evidence to say that the controls were adjusted. They might be, but they didn't go into we've improved the camera.
No, we still don't really know a whole lot about that part of it either.
The only thing about controls we know is that you can use the touchscreen. That's the only thing they mentioned about controls, so we don't know.
I saw some people talking about, we don't really know how much effort really got into these games, and I'm looking at them like, guys, they drag and drop these ROMs, okay? I've seen emulation games being further improved and having additional controls and additional come on, guys, this is literally just an up-res slightly. They did not
it's slightly
totally exactly. They did not work put that much effort into this collection. Even though it's gonna be great. These are great games. I'm not saying they're not
of course
in need of workup or anything, but you look at 64 and I'm like, it would have been nice to have a little bit more details, a little bit more textures to it.
Make it look like the the Odyssey world, not necessarily in the same engine, but crisper, cleaner.
That was
we were
the
talking
dream.
About.
That was the dream.
Yeah.
But we don't have it. I didn't think Sunshine looked super great either.
Yeah, that's true.
It's brighter. It's got that going for it. It feels brighter, but at the same time,
the HD we imagine.
It's not the HD we imagine. It's kind of edgy. Galaxy looks fantastic.
It looks great.
But Galaxy,
the Wii game.
Yeah, Galaxy looked great on Wii.
Yeah,
so I mean, and we've already seen it. We saw Galaxy HD running on Shield 4 years ago. So I wasn't like impressed or, there's nothing about this collection that blew me away outside the fact that they actually called it 3D All-Stars.
I think that was cool.
I think that was what you wanted. It was on your wish list.
Yep. That's
Speaking
probably
of
the best thing.
Controls, particularly for Sunshine, Vagabond wants to know how Flood is going to work without the analog triggers. I don't know how much the game relied on spraying the water lightly versus all the way.
You could kind of judge the distance, and I would imagine that they would just rework that to how long
you
hold
put
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you just squeeze it harder and longer, I don't know.
Were there any puzzles that relied on that heavily?
I don't
Do you
remember. I have not played Mario Sunshine in, I don't know, 8-9 years.
I'm sure they
It's
got
been
it
a
to
long
work
time.
somehow.
Yeah.
Lover Legend wants to know what's the first game on the 3D All-Stars that you will be playing?
64.
Same.
I'll start from the beginning.
Me too.
Yep, 64.
We'll go through in order.
I still think, even without it not doing a lot of things that people imagined that they might do to it, 64 is still an amazing game. It was an amazing game at its time. I don't think it doesn't hold up. I know a lot of people think that they do. I saw a lot of things. I just stayed out of our Discord this morning. There was a lot of talk going on. I saw a lot of conversation, and then I saw, as routine, I've seen a lot of people like kind of complaining, and I was like, well, if I get in there and I start making points, we're going to argue, and I'm going to be here all morning, and I'm working today. Like, I had work to do, so I was like, I'm just going to turn this off. But I did see one of the points going around. A lot of people were complaining about the camera in Mario 64. I've played that game a bunch, and I've played it on Wii U, and I've played it on DS, and I don't know, maybe I'm just an apologist, but it doesn't really bother me. I never was like, oh my God, the camera in this game makes it unplayable. It's not like great, obviously. It's 20, 30 years old. It's an old game, but at the same time, I've never felt like it was unplayable. Would it have been nice to hear them improve stuff? Always, of course.
Do you think in Sunshine they'll change it so that it's not forced inverted camera?
I don't.
Because that's the one thing that kept me from playing Sunshine. I have it. It's on my shelf over there. I could play it right now, but I don't because of the camera. I hate it.
There's nothing by what they've shown me today to expect any quality of life improvements over the original experience of playing the game.
I might not finish that game.
Wait, is it really forced inverted controls?
It is.
Yeah.
On Sunshine?
Yes.
Yikes. I don't know. Guys, that's rough. I'm not Sean Capri over here. I can't do that.
I was going to say you're breaking Sean's heart.
I'll give it a chance.
But yeah, so I'm still very, very, like I said, I've already pre-ordered copies, so they got me. They got me, and that's what they're out to do. That's what they're trying to get done. Okay, the next one, Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch, out November 13th with a modern D-pad. In addition to playing the classic Super Mario Bros., you can play Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, and a special version of Ball with a Mario Maker, or Mario Makeover. I don't know what Ball is. I never had a Game & Watch.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
There's somewhere Jason or Kevin are slamming something against the table. It also functions as a clock with 35 little touches to discover, including some guest appearances from Mario's friends and foes. It is out, again, November 13th for the price of $50. Are either of you excited about Mario Game & Watch?
I want
Not
it.
at all.
I want it.
Tell us why.
I'm all about the handhelds, man. That is such a cool display.
Is this their next gen? Is this the Switch Pro?
Yeah,
what they
it's
were talking
actually
about?
competing with the Series X and PS5. It probably has more exclusive games on that console than Series X. So I'm just saying. No, I think it's gonna be a cool little trinket, a little display. Guys, it's $50 too. It's not like, if it was $150, I'd be like, nah. But $50, I'm like, of course I'm gonna get that. Hopefully
that's
before.
a novelty item. That's for people who love Mario, people who love retro stuff like you. You'll get that. I feel like that's not for everyone.
I got the
like
NES Joy Cons. Right, and I kind of feel like it's kind of in that vein where you have like, I've never even taken them out of the box; they just sit there. I'm not interested in this either. I'm
Cool.
Team Rebecca here. I think it's cool that they got the color screen. Right,
It is
it's
cool.
not all analog, so I was like, oh, that's cool. But at the same time, it's like, do I need $50 to play Mario again in a different way? Like, I've got all the Mario Bros that I could ever want to play. So,
yeah, I'll totally buy it, and I'll keep it sealed until I really want to open it, and I want to see how that price goes. I'm gonna
Now
be
that I think people are so worked up about the collection going up in value. It won't. That will.
That will definitely will. Yeah. So.
I see. We already have folks booing me in the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm not old. Super Mario 3D World Deluxe arrives on Nintendo Switch February 2nd, 2021. I think this could borderline be the most impressive showing of the show. Multiplayer mayhem pounces onto Nintendo Switch. The enhanced Super Mario 3D World, which originally launched on Wii, will feature co-op gameplay online and through local multiplayer. Additional details about what things the game has to offer will be revealed later. Super Mario 3D World includes Bowser's Fury. And we got treated to a little camera pan up to behind Mario, and it looks like at least the addition of an additional world. It might be a whole separate campaign. Because the Mario that we panned up, here's what I don't understand. And maybe somebody out there has already sleuthed this out. Chat, you can let us know. When the camera panned up behind Mario, what you saw in front of him was like a Sphinx-like temple that you could enter, right? But there were all kinds of stuff around him. There was like a pipe running up the thing on the left side. There was like another element over on the right side. To me, it looked like an open area that Mario could run around. That's different than the world map in Super Mario 3D World. Super Mario's 3D World had a world map that was more akin to like a top-down Mario 3 type of thing, where you kind of went on, you could walk around it at free will, but it wasn't 3D and you weren't in the world. It was kind of, perspective was kind of top-down, and you basically would walk up to the level, click it, and then go into the level. This kind of looks more Odyssey-ish, to be honest with you. When I was looking at it, I was like, what is that? Like, are we looking at a level? Because that's a really big level. I don't think so. Like, I've played a lot of 3D World. That didn't look like a level. So I don't exactly know what we were seeing. It could be a level. I mean, maybe they're just really big like that. But that amount of exploration wasn't in 3D World. You weren't doing that. You weren't like walking across an open area to different elements, in the distance, in the horizon, if you will.
Did you say that was part of the Bowser's Fury part of it, or it wasn't?
That was part of the Bowser. So it started raining. There's like a storm, and it zooms into Mario sitting in front of this thing that I assume you could go into. So that was my impression, was like, oh, this is the world that you go to access the levels. And in that regard, honestly, it might be Odyssey-ish. I don't want to hype people because I don't know. I'm just giving you my opinion right off the bat. But I mean, I was kind of taken back by it. I was like, I don't know what this is.
So it seems like it could potentially be more content than they're letting on.
Yes. My initial impression from just that little showing was, oh, this is meaty. Like, this is actually something. It's not just like a level or something. So when the rumors came out that they were doing 3D World and that they were going to give it Deluxe, I literally thought that they would add a couple levels, and I was thinking a lot of Captain Toad stuff.
Okay.
I had envisioned in my mind there'd be like a whole other world or another campaign or anything like that. So, look, I know people can like or not like this game. They can like or not like Wii U ports or whatever. If this is a whole other campaign, and they have done that before. Mario Bros. U got Super Luigi U was like a whole separate game.
Right.
That's kind of what I was thinking that this might be. And if that is, you've got to buy this game. Because the offering, even as a port, I mean, I've said it on this show so many times, 3D World is underrated and comically underserved. It's a great game. If you liked Odyssey, a big reason why you liked Odyssey is it has a lot of 3D World stuff in it.
Maybe I should give it a chance.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm not going to skip on it. And I'm really glad that they're bringing in just more content than what they had in the Wii U version. And now that
it's not Cranky Kong, right? This is content.
Yeah, it's a whole separate thing. I'm more interested about this Bowser Fury stuff now that you're talking about it, because I looked at it as like, cool, it's that's the extra content that is kind of needed for the Switch. I didn't pay attention to the details that you just said.
Yeah, neither did I.
So
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it literally is just an extra level. But from what they showed,
that's something I think, that will get.
Yeah. I was just saying, from what they showed and the way the camera panned and the things that you can see, the things that I saw, I was like, this isn't just a level. It's not 3 levels. Like there's more to it. Like this is a whole separate world. And in 3D World, you do go to like Bowser's little thing, and you have this whole like kind of casino thing and ending and everything. I'm thinking this is like after that. So it's other thing after that. So I think it's at the very least, I think it's a new world. It could be more.
Okay.
I think the fact that they're remastering this one and they're putting it separate compared to the others means that they would give us extra content, like you were saying, in like a significant capacity like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more about that in more detail before it releases. If we do get a direct sometime between now and February 2nd, is it? That they could outline that in a little bit more detail for us.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And we've got some time, February. I was thinking this game would be January. So it's not that far off from what I was thinking, but you know, typically they've had a January game that kind of comes shortly after Christmas. I was thinking that this might be it, especially with the port. But I'm excited. I'm really excited about this one, guys. I love 3D World. It's a great game. I can't wait to replay it. You know, I didn't mention earlier when we were talking about the 3D All Stars, September 18th, 2 days after that management briefing. So
it's after. Yeah,
it's after.
Okay.
We were thinking that something would come. Well, we got the direct before. This is after. I was honestly thinking when I first heard the date, I was like, is that the same day? Because then I was like, oh, they were really trying to overshadow some news. Get us all playing Mario while they release something. But no, it's 2 days before. So we'll have some news to talk about as well before that. Any other thoughts on 3D World, the game?
I'm just looking forward to it, to be honest with you. I think I want to wrap up the 3D All-Stars first before I jump in on, and this one's not going to be delisted either, so I could just take my time getting it later. But I'm interested now.
Yeah, I don't know if I would get it day one. Again, it depends on if I'm still playing the other Marios, which I likely will be by that time. And yeah, whatever else is coming out around that time. We have
to play the 3 Mario games.
It's not going to expire.
We're going to play the 3 Mario games from September 18th through February 2nd.
I got JRPGs to go through, sir. All right.
Oh, I got your part.
You know I'm slow with games, and I probably wouldn't play them right back to back. I need to digest them.
Sure.
Exactly.
I can't wait for you to beat Mario 64. They did announce new Cat Amiibo. So you have Cat Amiibo Mario and Cat Amiibo Peach to go with the release. I'm like really over Amiibo because they've basically killed Amiibo. They don't do anything. I imagine that these will do something in 3D World to give you cat costumes. Like that's basically, I was like, oh yeah, that's what that's going to do. So
more power-ups.
Anybody excited about those?
No.
Okay.
No, but I am glad that they're still making Amiibo. They did look nice. They have those cool textures on them to make them look kind of like fluffy, furry.
Yeah, they do have that.
I don't care about Mario Amiibo, but I care about Zelda Amiibo. So the fact that they're still making Mario Amiibo is a good sign for if they do this kind of stuff next year for Zelda.
They will. We're definitely getting Amiibo with Breath of the Wild too. They're not gonna. They're gonna pass up that cash cow.
I know, right?
Super Mario Bros. 35, a competitive online battle game featuring 35 players competing to be the last Mario standing or running. Enemies defeated will be sent to other players' courses, but it also works the other way around. Players can activate special items to try and outpace their opponents. Launches October 1st as a digital-only game exclusive to Switch Online members only. The game will be playable until March 31st, at which it will be delisted.
I am so conflicted with this because I love this idea so much. I think this is a great idea. Not enough people are talking about this. This is exactly what I wanted for them to bring this kind of stuff to Nintendo Switch Online for the subscribers to play. This is such a good idea. It's like Tetris 99, but Mario. It's by the makers of Tetris 99. I don't know if you saw that. Why is it only playable until March 31st?
I have a theory. I don't think it's a good one, but I have a theory.
I have serious reason with the 3D All-Stars.
I think I know your theory.
I get it. I have no idea why this would be delisted.
I would play this game for years.
Can I guess your theory? Can I guess it? Can I guess what your theory is, Donnie?
Sure.
That they're gonna make it so it's not Switch Online, and they're gonna put out like a payable version of it later.
Close, but that wasn't what I had in mind.
Okay, what was your idea?
I was thinking like it can transition to another level or another game.
There you
go.
go.
Other than Mario 35.
My theory is you could add this as a mode to Mario Maker.
Oh.
Okay.
And then let people make their own versions of the levels that you could then play like this with multiplayer. I don't think that's going to happen because that seems really complex, completely different developer and everything. But
they also said they were kind of done with Mario Maker updates.
But if they did like a Mario Maker 3 and they're like, hey, remember that thing that was awesome? it's a part of this. I could see that. That would be cool because you could have color swaps and geometry and stuff like that. That could set Mario Maker apart from just like being a creator type thing, right? To give it a core mode like that.
I love this idea.
This pains me because I would buy this game. I would absolutely buy this game. This is a game that I would play for years.
No joke.
Do you have
I
any
think
idea
a
how
lot
fast?
of people will play it.
Yeah, because I was thinking like you have those fast run modes that you have in Mario Maker, but you also have them in I keep thinking 3D World. That's not it. Mario Bros. U, which are some of my favorite things. Are those course runs are so fast, and I would imagine this would be the same thing but more frantic. But it's going to be Battle Royale. It's going to be fast, right? You're going to get in and out in like 20, 30 seconds, and you just keep replaying over and over and over again. You just lose players for hours at a time. I have to think they'll bring it back. There's no reason why they wouldn't.
They should lean into this idea. We're seeing how much not only the Battle Royale games, but the twists on Battle Royale are really booming right now. And this is such a good idea.
Sell skins.
Who would have thought of this? Yeah.
Sell skins, cosmetics. Hey, you want to play this game in Mario 3? You want to play it in Mario 2? You want to play it in Cat Mario, like New Super Mario Bros. U? $5.99 a pop.
They can capitalize it. I think, and maybe the delisting is like, hey, this is a test run. Why don't you go play it? Like, yeah, I'm thinking it's more of a test run than anything. But
maybe they'd launch it with like seasons.
Especially because this type of game really relies on enough people being online to play it. So maybe it is just a test run to see, okay, well, we're pretty confident that until March that there's going to be enough of an online population to play it.
I think Tetris 99 is proving that there's going to be more than enough people to play
I
this.
was just trying to think of why,
Could have been a proof of concept that like, hey, we've got this idea. Well, let's put it out for the anniversary, see if people like it. And if they like it, let's go back and make it bigger and grander and then bring it back.
Maybe they played it and it was like, it's not that great as Tetris 99, right? Like Tetris 99 is probably relatively simple to do this Battle Royale stuff, but maybe they played it and there's still some balancing issues they have to go through. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it really sucks that after a year of waiting for a proper thing, that they come out with some really cool news, but every, step forward, they feel like they take 2 steps back.
Nintendo.
Like, just this fine print. Yeah, Nintendo's got a Nintendo.
Yeah.
They just do. All right.
Sorry.
Legit my highlight of the show. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit arrives October 16th, 2020, featuring gates that you make out of Labo, where you control a physical kart racer that has a camera on it, and it ties to your Nintendo Switch, which you use to control the kart as you race around your actual house. It's a mixed reality game. I think that's so cool. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was watching it, and Jack looked at me, and he was like, oh, I was like, yeah, we're going to do this. All right. It appears they're $100 a piece per racer.
Too much.
That's rough.
Guys, I've been thinking about this for a while. Probably going to sell my PlayStation 4. Probably going to sell my PlayStation 4 to buy Mario Karts.
And I don't blame you, sir.
I do think I'm going to sell the PlayStation 4 anyway. I have a few things I want to buy, and the PlayStation 4 is just sitting there. And Last of Us 2 was like such a downer for me. It's just like I kind of just want to get rid of it. Just get it out.
Oh, wow.
I should buy it from you.
Get it gone. But we've got more news here. All right, so additional, the game's free to play. So you can download the game from the eShop, but you've got to have the cart to play, right? So the carts are sold with the kit, with the gates. You can play local multiplayer. And let's see here. Developer, I looked this up. It's from developer Villan Studios. Hope I pronounced that right.
I've heard of that.
This is their first game to market. Okay. You've never heard of them make a game before, but last year they signed a contract publishing deal with EA. So these folks used to work at Vicarious Visions, which was then adopted by Activision. The CEO of this studio and like some of his team and stuff, they worked on Skylanders. And they worked on like ports of Guitar Hero and stuff like that. And you could see the Skylanders transition to this, right? These toy to life games. It's exactly what this is on a whole other scale. I'm blown away. I love this idea. And for a different reason. I think a lot of people are like, really? Like, you're going to race around your living room? Here's the idea I have. You guys let me know if this is crazy, because this is my first thing that I thought of. Imagine, I don't know how big or small to take this, a YouTube channel to a TV show where they actually build legit courses and they race this like an esport, and they have ramps and they have like all kinds of stuff that you've got to do. I was talking to Jack. I was like, we could put this out in the driveway and we could build ramps to jump over and put in obstacles and things you got to do. It's like you could get crazy competitive and super fun with this if the idea works. And that's my fear. Right? They showed us a concept in video, and I thought it was awesome that you can actually put the video on the TV screen, so you don't have to play in portable. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "So you have to play portably?" No, you can play it docked, and you can play with a controller. My fear is, does the stream lag? Is there latency in the video to your controller? Is the quality of the video not what was displayed in the marketing commercial?
Is it local connection or
It is.
Okay, I think that's a little better than Wi-Fi connection.
Of course.
It depends on how the range is. Like if you want to go outside, I don't know if you can play docked. It depends on how far this is going to go with the camera with local connection.
Now to me, this is the kind of stuff that Nintendo's really good at. We were all really skeptical when we saw the first video ever of the Nintendo Switch, how seamless the transition was from docked to undocked. And I remember we were all saying it's not going to be that fast as they're showing on the commercial, but it was. So I don't know if it'll be exactly what the trailer was here, quite as crisp, quite as
because if the video
clean,
is fuzzy
I'm sure
and it
will be
lags,
good.
then it's going to be terrible, and that's going to be bad for $100.
I don't think it'll be like that.
I hope
It's
so.
a literal camera. It's like a local connection.
I know.
It's going to be pretty crisp.
I'm buying
it.
it.
I think
Depends,
it'll be good.
it depends on the distance.
I'm buying it. The question is if I'm buying two. There are only Mario and Luigi available. And that's kind of a bummer. So I got two bummers with this. One, that you've got to buy both packs at the moment. Like you can't just buy the RC car. You have to buy the pack that comes with the Labo gates and stuff. I don't know if you can have like as many Labo gates as you want. That's another question. Can I have 10 Labo gates, or do you have to play with 5? Right? Because if each pack comes with 5, well, can I put them together and play, or do you have to have them all? I don't know. And then I want other racers. I want Yoshi Kart.
I could see them adding racers. That's probably easy for them to do.
Because I'm a Yoshi main. Like if I'm not playing with my Mii character, Yoshi's my golf go-to. Yoshi's my kart go-to. Yoshi's my Mario Universe go-to, and I want a Yoshi Kart. I don't want Luigi Kart, but I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna make Jack play as Luigi, and and I loved it. Like you have all of the power-ups and the weapons, and you could throw a shell, and if you hit the other player, their cart just deactivates.
Isn't that cool?
I'm telling you, I would watch this TV show. I would watch a produced TV show of people playing this Mario Kart thing live. Like if this was an Evo, I'm absolutely there.
You should start it.
With popcorn. I think this is the best idea in the world. Could you imagine I think I'm trying to paint my vision. I think you're with me. Like a really nice detailed course where the like little trees and houses and stuff that they built and stuff, and like
miniature villages.
like a mini golf course. Like stuff happens and things as people are racing around, and like maybe it's like a relay.
An actual golf course.
Oh my god, this is so good. I didn't want to say it in the chat because I wanted people to come to the show. I wanted to save it for the pod. I freaking love this idea. I'm buying all of these. I think this is great. I was so excited when I saw it, and we've been talking about it all year long. There have been somewhat rumors that there was another kart game coming. I'm wondering if this is what people heard there was a kart game.
9, everybody.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Well, what can you do? What can you do to Mario Kart to make it better?" I don't think this is better, but this is totally
it's very innovative.
I will buy 2 Mario Karts.
Yeah.
I will have this Mario Kart on Switch, and I will buy this other Mario Kart on Switch. This is awesome.
I can see you, Donnie, just going down in like a basement, just like crafting.
I'm gonna move my
craziest
chairs.
stuff.
I'm gonna move everything out of the way. You're gonna have to jump ramps and
your
go
whole
around
house is
obstacles.
gonna turn into these tracks. Your family is gonna get so
I could just see
annoyed.
lighting.
I don't think I have
everywhere,
enough room. I think I'm gonna have to do this
flickering
outside.
lights.
Your dog's gonna step on it.
Oh, I want your dog part of the course too. Like
Yeah.
make sure you have a dog tree
Yeah.
in the middle of the course.
Like you've got to
Third lap, you
get by
open it.
Flea.
You gotta get by Flea.
He's an obstacle.
It's like the cows in Moo Moo Meadows, but this time it's your dog.
Oh man, see that's the thing you could do. That's the Toys to Life dream that Skylanders never was, right? Like I don't think any of Toys to Life ever was a cool toy. That was always the missing piece. It was a cool game. Was it a cool toy? Anybody play with your Skylander like by itself?
No, they just stand on the shelf
Right.
like Amiibo.
They're displays. They're not toys.
Yeah.
The thing that I always thought, this is a complete tangent. I'm off the rails here because I just like this idea so much. I always thought Pokemon cards would make the greatest toys to life concept if you had a Pokemon game that you could play on console with real cards. Like if you could put the card down and it would read it and you could play it in the game. I just thought that idea would be bonkers. But yes, I love this idea. I'm all for it. I'm going to sell my PlayStation 4. And I didn't have anything to buy with my PlayStation 4 when I sold it. Like I already made the decision to sell it. I'm not selling it just to buy this. But now that this came out, I was like, well, that's what I'm going to use the money on.
You have motivation now.
I might be willing to take a little bit less than I previously thought because I've got to get these carts. I think this is going to be bonkers. I understand it's expensive. So I expect maybe it won't sell, like super hot out of the gate. But I mean, think about it. So we got 3D All-Stars this month, right? Next month, we get Mario Kart Live and we get Pikmin. Then we get Pokemon DLC. Maybe there's something else in November, December we don't know about. And then we get to January, February, and we get the Mario game. We know that there's a bunch of third-party stuff coming, right? They're getting support. We know there's another game coming. Like we three know there's another game coming. Like we're still waiting to see that show up. We think there's a port of No More Heroes coming. Apex is coming. Suddenly, the Switch that had no games has lots of games.
Don't forget, new Pokemon Snap is coming.
Told you that's a spring game.
Okay, fine.
We haven't heard more of that. Bravely Default 2, maybe. I'm not counting on it anymore. Probably delayed. Give me Bravely Default and
hey, I'm telling you,
Bravely Second.
2021 is going to be bonkers. We're going to have so much fun.
It's going to be crazy.
But these Mario stuff's totally going to, I'm happy to bridge the gap and ride the wave.
It carries us there.
It does. It gets us there. Super Mario All-Stars is out now. The classic Super Nintendo game included upgraded versions of Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, which I have never beaten, Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, they talked about it in the thing. They were like, and it has enhanced Oh, hang on a second. Sorry about All-Stars. Something hit me like a ton of bricks today that I don't think anybody has ever told me, and I asked people, and I didn't get a response back. I'm going to say this now, and maybe this has just been common knowledge, and what I'm about to say is going to make me sound stupid. Or maybe I'm about to say something I'm going to be right and blow everybody's mind. Or maybe I'm saying just completely wrong. Troy Baker is totally the narrator of the Nintendo Direct, right?
I have no idea.
I've been playing Catherine for a month, and I swear to God, it's Troy Baker. Like, it started 10 seconds, and he started talking. I was like, wait a second. What? Why is he here? Chat.
I'm going to have to listen to it again.
I searched. I went on Twitter, and I tried to find it. I was like, and I can't find anybody else that's saying it. I asked Jeff Grubb. He didn't respond back to me. I'm like, that's totally Troy Baker. Like, I know that voice. I even asked my wife, and she was like, is it? And I was like, I think it is. So anyway, Sean, go rewatch it. I'm telling you, if you watch it listening for Troy, you can see his face. I think it totally is.
I'll have to listen to it again then.
Super Mario Bros. All-Stars. It's already in the Super Nintendo Switch Online thing.
People already beat it. I saw people posting the ending screen. People are fast.
The whole game?
The Lost Levels, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never beaten that one.
Of the games.
I've never beaten that one. I don't really want to,
any of them.
but I do. I do love these versions of the games. I was excited about this when it came out on Wii. I think I've argued about the Wii release to Kevin. I think I've brought this up in the past that I wanted it to come back. If they actually just brought the original Super Mario All-Stars physical cart to Switch, I'd buy that too. I think this version of Super Mario 3 is my favorite version of Super Mario 3. And I think that's one of the best Mario games of all time. My favorite 2D Mario game. And I think the 3D All-Star or the All-Stars version is the best way to play it. So I love it. We have a lot of events to get through. All right, I'm going to read through this pretty fast. Super Mario events from now until March 21st. If you go on my.nintendo, they have missions that you can complete. You have to do 4 to get entered to win enamel pins and other prizes. I've already done the 4. You can do them right away. There are tweets that have links that you can just go to. It's super fast. If you buy the game, that's one of the missions. So if you just buy the game, you can get one of those when it releases. But you can already do the 4 now. So you can get pens and whatever else they have. I don't know how they're going to do that. They do say while supplies last. I'm not sure if it's as you qualify or lottery selection or something, or if you'll have to buy it. That's another thing. When are they going
to do the lottery?
Well, that's the other thing. What if they just put it up and they're like, hey, you've qualified for the right to buy the pens, It's like, oh, you can keep it. I did take a quiz.
Pretty much.
They have quizzes you can take on Mario. Those are fun. I did both of them.
Cool.
From Mario, from September 8th to September 22nd, Mario Kart Tour, the mobile game, will have an event with Super Mario characters, Mario and Donkey Kong, and they look like old characters on the screen. So everybody else looks like actual Mario Kart characters. These look like old versions.
I loved that.
Put that in Super Mario Kart Deluxe.
Right?
Yeah,
I would buy that
man,
DLC.
I would pay for that
right.
for sure.
I would buy that
retro
deal. Like,
look.
why is this not a thing? Why are you
Put it on a
supporting
mobile game.
this
They get
crappy
money.
mobile game?
Because they get money.
It
That
sucks.
gives them so much
It
money.
sucks. I will give them money if they let me give them money. I will give them the money.
It really shows that they didn't get much revenue out of Super Mario Kart Tour either. I don't know why they're just
That game sucks.
excluding
It just
that
sucks.
game.
Nobody wants to say it. I said it the day I played it. I demoed it. They still try to make it a thing. And I get it. Mobile, blue ocean strategy. Everybody's got phones. It sucks. It should be better than that. Like, it should just be a better Mario Kart game. Like they ruined a great idea. Historical Super Mario items and 35th anniversary themed merchandise will be available for purchase at the Nintendo Store. 35th anniversary of the Ninja speed runs are coming to Super Mario Maker 2 in November. I'm definitely doing that. Kyle, you're going to be doing that with me. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will have an in-game online tournament using Super Mario Series fighters. Not doing that. Super Mario themed Splatfest is coming to Splatoon 2 in January.
They're never
Let's go.
over. They keep saying that the Splatfests are over, but they keep going.
You can never believe them at
Never
anything
die.
they ever say.
Don't believe them.
Never.
Keychains will be made available as a My Nintendo reward closer to the Splatfest. In addition, there are T-shirts up today, a black and white version with the Splatfest, Super Mushroom or Superstar. Which team are you on? Superstar, right?
Team Shrooms. Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go super size.
I am
Yeah.
actually undecided.
Did you see the
Alright.
shirts?
The star
Did you
shirt
see
looks
the
really
Star
cool.
shirt is so much better than the mushroom shirt. It's like, how can you pick that?
I'm going with it. When I saw that Team Mushroom, I'm like, yeah.
There's
for sure
also
going down
another
there.
physical reward for Splatoon that only the Japanese Splatoon account tweeted, but I'm pretty sure it's for everybody. The top 200 players in the Splatfest get this little coin medal with
Wow.
the Splatoon. It looks really nice.
Get it,
Splatoon
Garrett.
Mario design on it,
No.
and then 100 random participants will also get it.
That's the
I'm
only
not
way.
good.
That's the only way
It
I'm
might
getting
be
one.
Japan only, but I don't think it is.
Even if it wasn't, it's still going to be Japan only. I mean, look, not trying to be
That's gonna be
racist or anything, but if
200.
you've played if you've played
They're very
Splatoon,
good. They're very
every
good.
time you see those characters come up on one team, it's like, oh,
It's like, what the fuck? That's an
They're
esports
really
team
nice
right there.
coins.
I want
up
regional servers for Splatoon 3. That's regional. This is unfair. Their ranking system not good. March next year, Super Mario themed furniture arrives to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, this news completely overshadows that we're also in fall for Animal Crossing. So, do you have a plug for anything cool that Animal Crossing's doing?
Animal Crossing. Well, there's still an update that's supposed to come later in the
Hang on a second.
fall season.
Let me set this up for you. I clicked on the video to watch this update from Nintendo, the tweet that they did, and it took like 40 seconds for them to get to the part where they're like, this chair, and I was like, oh, never mind.
No. There's new creatures that you can collect, like the new fish and bugs, but there are also new crafting recipes. You can get, you can collect acorns and pine cones in order to get.
That's what I
pretty
saw. And I was like, never mind.
Pumpkin everything. I love.
I don't know if there are pumpkins
Oh,
yet.
I like my
But there's
pumpkin
gonna
stuff.
be a new update later in the autumn.
What a missed opportunity. Hopefully the update's awesome. I'm
Why is the
still rooting for
update?
it.
Why are they waiting until March for this? That's so late. That's so far away.
Because they're going to take away the Mario 35. They're like, but
Here you go. I
get this.
guess.
Here's a couch. It's a Mario couch. It's
Play
super
50 more
awesome,
hours
right?
of Animal Crossing. Like,
You need
this is all you need.
5,000 acorns,
I wonder
and
if
you'll
it
get
will
this
line up
Mario spoon.
with Mario Day, March 10th.
Hey, it's my birthday.
And there you go.
Super Mario products are coming to retail, starting with Puma Dreamer Super Mario 64 shoes. I totally want. I absolutely want those
Really?
shoes. I saw them. So I have Mario shoes. There's a Nintendo Shack episode titled Mario shoes. I have these old Converse that I got Club Nintendo laces for. and I've had them forever, and they're like just beaten and worn down. But every time that we used to have a direct, when the kids were younger and they actually were nice and sweet, they would ask me to put on my Mario shoes and watch the direct with them. So I would love to get these Mario shoes so I can continue the tradition of having the Mario shoes. That's the only reason. I don't think the shoes are like super. I just think it's cool to have Mario shoes. Yeah. So I do want them, but I'm pretty sure that they're like, I don't buy shoes now. Like
me neither.
My boss hates me about that. He's like, you need to go buy like real Italian leather shoes. He's like $200 shoe. I was like, are you out of your mind? I'm like maybe $20, maybe.
Those things wore down. They get ripped. Why would I wear $200 shoes?
Like I don't buy expensive shoes. Monopoly, Super Mario. I'm pretty sure we've had that for like 4
we already
years.
have that.
Yeah, that's been out.
I feel like we've seen Mario Jenga before.
That's been out.
Yeah.
The It's a Me Mario action figure from Jack's Pacific.
Come on.
Black Milk clothing inspired by Super Mario will be available at blackmilkclothing.com starting at 5 p.m. October 5th. There's a sneak peek going up at the end of this month, and then the Lego stuff, which we knew was going to tie into this somehow. They're going to cross-promote that again. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm talking too much, and I'm getting parched.
I'm sorry.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of things going on.
A lot of stuff. And let me tell you how overwhelming it is when they throw all of this without like teasing it the day before, saying that there's going to be an announcement, or like just instead of live streaming it and just throwing everything at us at once.
It was a little jam-packed
this morning for Twinfit. I'm just saying it was a little bit stressful.
Ooh, so that's good times. That's fun stuff. Did anybody in the chat confirm if it's Troy Baker or not? I'm telling you, I know it.
They all say
Troy
it does
Baker.
sound like him.
I think I'm way ahead of this game.
They agree with you. Somebody
tweeted out and tagged me before somebody else takes credit for it. Sean, tell him. So my friend tag Troy Baker wants to know if you were in the direct. eShop has received a Mario Maker makeover. Yeah. Jesus. There is a Mario Flash animation now when you change screens and load, and then every time that there is like a menu or a soft section, it is got a Mario detail background wallpaper behind it. So either on the side or when you check out above you, all of that good stuff. I was a little upset when I saw the tweet come out. The store's got a Mario makeover. I expected to click the store and hear Mario music, and it's just silent.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
It's completely silent. And it's like, what? Like, our show is themed after eShop music. Why do we not have music on the Nintendo Switch store?
I don't understand the UI of that Switch. Yeah, I really don't understand.
Damn it, Nintendo. Garrett.
Yes.
We have time.
I have something, okay? Okay, so Weiss Origin is arriving on Nintendo Switch October 1st. Weiss is a long-standing JRPG franchise, and Weiss 8 is recently on Switch. Great action-packed JRPG. This is the first of the RPG franchise, so it came out in 2006. And I imagine the rest of the Weiss games are going to come out later, overcoming the next couple years, and I'm really glad that these companies now are actually looking at Switch as a valuable product. There's a lot more JRPGs coming in. Please, Atlas, let's get some Persona in. And that's pretty much it from my end. And they have a limited run games physical release. It looks really cool. They have a great cover art with the Weiss Origin game. And that's pretty much it.
Romaine says it's pronounced ease.
Oh, too bad. I say Weiss.
Unrelated to today's Direct, the news that came out earlier this week is that you can now cancel digital pre-orders on the Nintendo Switch up to 7 days before the title launches. Whereas previously there was no option whatsoever. That now means that they've switched from an actual transaction being done when you do your pre-orders to now you are just pre-ordering, and then they will process your payment later. So if you have money stashed like I do, and I currently do, the money doesn't go away, like you still have it. Xbox does it. I will tell you, it takes a bit to get used to, because you'll start pre-ordering things thinking you have all this money, and then it'll, like you'll get that credit card bill. It's like, we charged you. So it is a little different. We talked about this in Discord, but I think it's worth bringing up and talking about again. Some folks are not happy with this, or they don't think it's a good enough update.
I don't.
Right.
I know you're talking about me.
It's called a segue, but sure.
It's definitely better than what it previously was, but I don't think they're doing this to be consumer friendly at all. They're doing it because the laws in Europe required them to do something.
They won that lawsuit. They don't have to.
It's to get them off their back in case, I don't know, like.
I agree with you that they're probably doing it to future-proof themselves.
Yeah,
but
dodge a minefield.
But they went to court and they won. At least it wasn't in Germany, I think. But they
don't
won.
know.
Like they won. They don't have to. So I will give them
If they
some
were
credit for
doing
doing
this to
something
Sure.
where they
sure.
didn't
We give
have
them
to do
some
anything.
credit. Sure.
Donnie, I think it's great for you because you've had these instances where
Yep.
you buy games way a time ahead.
Yep.
I'm just saying, people out there, like, don't buy
This
your games
doesn't
a month
help
early.
most people.
There's
No reason for them to not do it 24 hours before. Because I feel like that's the period where people decide to cancel their pre-orders.
Sure.
For the most part, when these reviews start coming out and they start seeing previews of the game, you start seeing, okay, well, this isn't really what I thought it was. That's the chance that they have. You don't get that stuff longer than 7 days. You might in some cases, but generally for the most part, you don't more than 7 days ahead of time.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, I would like it to be better. Don't get me wrong; it could be better, right? You could have a play time, or you could refund it after you've already played it for a certain period of time. I know a lot of people want that. That's what Xbox does. That's what Steam does. I've even used that on a couple occasions. This would have saved me Deadly Premonition money because I would have canceled Deadly Premonition weeks in advance.
And in those cases, definitely. Like, I don't want to come off as thinking that this is bad because it's definitely better. It's just hard to defend it when you see models like Steam that offer really good return policies, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be that. If they're really trying to be consumer friendly, they would do that.
This is also the Nintendo that won't let you back up your islands in cloud save, and you've got to call them, and they've never done digital rewards. So I give them a golf clap for progress. It's progress. It's something.
Yeah.
You can go with something. It's not that bad. It basically brings them in line with PlayStation. And one of the things that I was happy to see is they don't just like return the money to your wallets. They don't take your money. They actually give you your money back. And that was something I could absolutely see Nintendo doing, where they just take your money and they're like, well, here's some eShop points. You know, like they don't do that. So
you're right. And I do applaud that because that's something that they didn't have to do either. I feel like it's pretty standard today to say, okay, we're going to give you credit for the returns. So I do appreciate that.
Donnie, help me understand here. I can't understand pre-ordering more than a week ahead.
Sure. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually, there's no like logic to make. The thing is, I like to activate deals as much as possible on digital currency. Anytime I can save $10 on a digital card, I will. Or I just got all those points from Walmart, which is why I have so much eShop cash, right? So I get the rewards from Walmart. I turn that into eShop money. I then put the eShop money on my account, and then I start buying games with it. So it's basically, I'm just kind of planning out my purchases. I'm like, okay, so I want Deadly Premonition, and I want Golf Club, and I want, No More Heroes, and I want Mario. And then, I pay for those in advance just because I have the money. I'm just trying to balance out my purchases. Like, go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah, just be ahead, productive about it. Yeah, I get it.
I love Deadly Premonition 1 so much, totally thinking like the second one would have to be better. It has to be. The game came out 15 years ago.
It has to be.
Right, of course it's going to be better. It's a new game. And then it was about, a month out? And I was like, guys, oh no.
It was a bombshell, man.
I remember that.
Oh no. And it was just week after week after week.
For people like you who do pre-order ahead of time, who maybe it's not a situation where they see something that they don't like with the game, but maybe they need the money, they for whatever reason,
maybe they just want to cancel
afford the pre-order anymore. Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to cancel.
You just want to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So also in that light, Garrett, Kevin and I, Game Share on Xbox, we're paid up through like March. Every game that we want, they're all done.
Wow. Okay.
Because that's the thing. It's like we juggle. We find like I got bonuses. I got money over the summer. I use this extra money as I have it, and I buy then. Versus I don't know, like trying to save it or something later to buy later. If I've got the money, I'm gonna go ahead and pay it and get out of the way now.
Personally, I can't see myself pre-ordering
that's
many games.
Totally smart. I think it's like there's no financial benefit for me telling you not to do it. It's just I like to plan my purchases. Because I feel like if I didn't, I'd always be like, oh, do I have enough money to buy these 3 games this month? Versus like I'm basically kind of subsidizing my purchases throughout the year. Like every paycheck I buy a game that I'm going to get later. So I'm always like kind of future proof. But yeah, on Xbox, we're paid out through Far Cry, I think. Through Far Cry 6, we're done. Every game that we want is done through Far Cry. So
cool.
Rebecca, why don't you take us into some chat questions direct from you?
And we have a lot of really good Mario questions. Let's see. Sean wants to know what's the most underrated announcement from today's amazing set of reveals. He loves the Super Mario Bros. 35, but also the Mario Kart in real life. What? He says.
I think the Mario Kart in real life, I think Donnie convinced me that
so
this
much
is
fun.
a well underrated. Because, I mean, they showed it off a little bit in this commercial, but I think they could have gone way more craftier with the tracks and everything. But the capability of actually having a cart going around your house and like you just creating your own, like just imagine like playing the game, Mario Kart game. Like it's all just because of graphics, right? It's graphic physics and like, but with this, it's real life. It's real life obstacles with real gravity. And I don't know. I think that's really cool.
Hey, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't
that.
racing. I'm totally gonna fishtail the mess out of Jack.
Was that your answer to most underrated? The
No,
cart?
I actually think it's Mario 3D World, and the reason I think it's the most underrated is because I feel like they presented it like a port, and I don't think people realize. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention when we brought it up. Game Explain has a whole video talking about how improved it is. It's so much faster, and it so much smoother. It's running at like almost double time. Like Mario's moving, like the animations, everything is sped up like half time, so it plays faster. Like, it seems like you were moving faster than before. I think that, plus the Amiibo, plus the extra content, plus what a great game that is. It sucks that Wii U has tarnished that game so much. People do not...
I don't care. Like, I don't know about that game.
People do not realize what a great Mario game it was, I guess. Yeah. I feel like it was underappreciated.
I think a lot of people will give it a chance, people who didn't have a Wii U.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, I expect it to sell well. I mean, Mario Bros. U outsold the Wii U version. And I expect this would outsell that by landslide. I think it'll outsell that for sure. But even then, like, I know I've said it, and it's probably been hyperbole, just me kind of being excited and eccentric, trying to back up my points. I do think Mario 3D World might be my favorite 3D Mario game of all time.
Wow.
Ooh.
I definitely think it's better. I think it's better than Odyssey. I 100% believe that.
I can believe that.
I believe I said that when Odyssey came out and everybody was losing their mind. Like, I got so much hate, and it's like, look, I don't not like Odyssey. Odyssey's
Not a lot
great.
of trash a game that just came out.
Right. I was like, Odyssey's great. I'm just trying to tell you 3D World was really good.
Dang.
Like, it was better. Now, I worry, though, as much as I've propped it up, how much people will think that if they've already played Captain Toad and they've already played Odyssey, like, it loses its tricks, right? They've already been exposed. It's different when you played it when it came out and it was new. Mm-hmm. So I worry about that. But here's the thing. So much about what I love about Mario 3D World are the worlds and how they're designed. I think the worlds are so much more cartoony and colorful and charming than Odyssey's, like, New York City and New Dawn City and the Tyrannosaurus Rex and stuff. Also, the power-ups. The double cherry, the cat suit, those are awesome Mario effects. Like, they're really fun to do, and the way that you use them in levels are really good. And then Captain Toad. Like, before Captain Toad had a game, it was Mario 3D World. I remember, man, it's just so much nostalgia hit me. I remember when I got the Wii U and I played this game, I was screaming, we need a Captain Toad game. Like, these Captain Toad things are so cool. And yeah, the fact it was a part of that. Yeah. So anyway, it's probably just more nostalgia. I liked Wii U, so it might be more of it than anything else. But I really love the game. I think it's one of the best Mario games I've ever played. So I think for that reason, it's underrated.
For me, I think it's the Super Mario Bros. 35. I don't really see anybody talking about this, and I think it's a great idea. So I hope that gets attention when it does become live, because
I think people are scared to talk about it because they know it's finite.
It's expiring. And I'm seeing, when I do see it, it's through jokes that it's expiring. It's not forever. It's not permanent. But I think there's a lot of potential with having really fun, like tournaments and stuff with that. Mm-hmm. So that'll be cool. Steven has a theory that they will have Galaxy 2 be paid DLC for the 3D All-Stars next year. What do you think the chances are of that happening, or will Galaxy 2 get its own port later on?
They have the game ready because we know it runs on the Shield in China. I think the theory loses a lot of traction knowing that they're going to delist the game. Like, how are you going to delist the game and then bring DLC to it? Like, that sounds so weird.
That would be very weird.
That's like oddly hilarious. They're like, you can't buy it anymore, but only those of you that actually bought it can now buy this other one. I actually kind of want them to do that now.
Make everyone jealous, everyone who didn't buy it, who
think about it. It's March 31st. They're like, you have 11 hours to buy this game. And by the way, 2 months from now, Galaxy 2 comes, but only if you bought this game.
Only if you bought the base game.
That's evil.
That's hilarious.
That's
The
so
ultimate
evil.
Nintendo move.
It really is. I now want that to happen. As much as I hate it, and I would not want to support any company doing it, I do kind of just want to see that chaos ensue. Oh man, I just have like that Wednesday gif of her like just lighting the whole thing on fire. It's like that's totally Nintendo. That's hilarious.
Galaxy 2 will be its own port. And I think it will be a little bit more expensive.
$60.
I think it could be a $30 or $40 game, to be honest, port, to be honest with you.
Okay. I mean,
I can see that.
I would like to see it. It is a little weird that it's not here.
It is,
Yeah.
especially when Galaxy is here.
Yeah.
And considering the fact that they put these minimal changes to it, they could have also put minimal changes to this and stuck it on there.
ROM drop. That's a literal ROM
Like
drop.
if they had enhanced and added a couple of features and things like that, then I could understand. Okay, they don't really have the time or resources to do that for an additional game, but they didn't really do that.
Yarden Angel says, "Don't worry, this is just a very elaborate April Fool's joke."
Because it expires on the.
I
30th.
absolutely would love it if they were like, "April Fools, the games are here forever. You can buy them now." Like that would be hilarious too.
April Fools, you can buy them separately now for $60 each.
Ooh. That is
that would be rough.
so Nintendo. Like they kill it, but then they bring them back one at a time.
It's the collection that's limited time, not the games.
So how much control do we have over these guys? Let's just break the heart a little bit.
And Donnie,
Let's just squeeze.
you would buy them separately again if they did that.
No, I wouldn't. Not if I have the
Nah.
collection. If I didn't have the collection, you might be right. But if I have the collection, I would.
Some people would. Some
Yeah.
hardcore Mario collectors
Well,
would.
that's
If
true.
they could
Collectors.
squeeze
I'm
some
not a
extra
collector.
If they could squeeze some extra dollars out of those people that do collect all the Mario games.
I do wonder. This isn't my idea. I saw this on Twitter. I do wonder if them making it timed limited thing delisting opens them up to actually creating the remaster that we want later down the road.
Maybe.
Then maybe that's why they're trying to kind of delist. It's like, hey, you get this thing now. It's a special occasion type thing. Because here's the thing, like the Mario 64 port is not even as good as like what they did to Zelda on 3DS.
That's true. 100% true.
You know, so it's like maybe that by making it a limited thing now, maybe a few years down the road, Switch 2, Switch Pro, or whatever, maybe they come back with a legit Mario 64 HD remake in Odyssey's engine. And
I
they're
can
like,
see that.
You know,
I think that's inevitable eventually in any case.
I do agree.
Eventually they'll remake it once we have better technology.
they
have
pry
better
it from
resources.
Miyamoto's cold, dead hands. We'll have a
We're
parade
gonna
for him and everything, and then like a week later, they're going to announce like 70 remakes that hit Nintendo systems at one time.
Yeah, they say they're going to delist these games, but each of these games are going to be in its own form on Switch later on. It's not going to be the all-stars together with the songs, but the games are going to be there on Switch.
They've done it before, though. Like, that is the thing. They've done it before, so I'm not... For anybody that thinks they're holding out hope and, like, they're like, I'm not going to get it because they're going to do it later, like, I wouldn't be so sure because they have history of doing it and they don't do it.
They've done it before on SNES and NES Classics,
Yep.
Zelda 4 Swords Anniversary,
Yep.
and Ambassador games. These games are not...
I
I
know.
wouldn't say they're not that important
I know.
compared to these 3D All-Stars.
We still don't have, like, Wind Waker ports or Twilight Princess ports to Switch either. And, like, I'm waiting for them to announce Skyward Sword and do, like, an interview where Anuma's like, yeah, we just want to leave them on Wii U. Like, we made it for that audience. Like, you can hear that, right? You can hear that response.
I think that's true.
I
still
know!
don't think they're coming. I've always
that
said that I
hurts.
don't think they're going to come. I don't see why they would.
I totally think he's gonna be like, we built that for the gamepad and we like the experience, and we want to let the people that bought Wii U have that to
my
themselves, and
gosh.
we'll just be like,
You know, what's even worse is like, okay, yeah, we're going to release the Zelda collection, but we're going to have the Wind Waker GameCube version because we thought the art style was so much better, you know? We're going to have the Twilight Princess, but it's going to be the GameCube version. 'cause
the Zelda
truly
promo
felt-
disc on Wii Virtual Console.
My God, don't even.
You speak that into existence, and it happens. I'm gonna drive to PA to slap you. Are you serious?
Oh, that would be rich.
Kyle has a really good question. Since we now have Mario 64 on the Switch, will there be future Switch N64 controller for pre-order somewhere down the road? Similar to how we got the Super Nintendo and NES controllers, could we see a similar Nintendo 64 one?
I hope
Could
not.
be possible. Yeah. I can see third-party controllers going out there, though. I can imagine a random third-party company making an N64 mock-up.
I feel like I'm going to be really let down if they put like 8 N64 games on Nintendo Switch Online and release the controller versus actually giving us the 64 Classic that we deserve, that I could actually mod and put all my stuff on and would actually play.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the problem with that is I only want a controller if I can put WWE games on it and GoldenEye and Turok and Perfect Dark and Banjo, and knowing that none of those games are going to come, like it would actually, I feel like it would hurt my feelings to see it. It's like, here's Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time in 320p with a 64 controller. I'm like, oh my God.
No, that does not age well.
Right, exactly. It's like, man, do the classic. If you're going to make hardware, do the classic. You know, if you're going to do hardware. The Super Nintendo, I feel like I understand more because even outside of the you can still play those controllers with indie games.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like it actually has value way beyond itself. You know, like the Super Nintendo online games. It has way value, beyond that. Like I just bought Axiom Verge today. I've never played it. So I'm looking forward to playing that at some point. I would totally play that with a Super Nintendo controller.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But N64 controller, I'm not going to play that with anything but an N64 game. And if you limit me and then you try to sell hardware for it, it's like, that's like salt in the wound.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Drew wants to know, during your younger years, were you a Nintendo fanboy or fangirl, or did you play all the consoles? Meaning, I guess, PlayStation, Xbox.
Why don't you go first?
Yeah, go for it.
I had all of the Nintendo consoles. The only other console I ever had was a PlayStation 2. That was it. So yes, I was a Nintendo fangirl.
I was, of course, introduced gaming by Nintendo. I had an N64, SNES, but like, to be honest with you, I didn't play all the Nintendo exclusive games that were coming because I just didn't know any better. I played some, but not all. Mainly multiplayer games. But I was definitely a Pokemon fan, and still a Pokemon fan. I still think I am, at least. But then when the 360 came, game over. I played Call of Duty. And then real-time strategy games got me too. So I think I was just a mix of both by the end of it.
I was always a Nintendo fanboy. I always had those first. But I did get an original Xbox. I did get a PlayStation 2. I did get a 360, and I did get a PlayStation 3. So I've always just loved every video game. And even now, I've got all three, right? I even had Dreamcast. I remember I got a Dreamcast once. A lot of time it was me trading one for the other. So I would get one thing, right? I would get a PlayStation, play all the games, and then trade it for an Xbox, play all the games, trade it for a Dreamcast, play all the games while I had my Nintendo system. And that kind of is still the same today. I've had like multiple Xbox Ones and multiple PlayStation 4s, but while I had a Wii U, while I had a Switch and a 3DS. So everything just kind of revolves around my Nintendo dumb. And I actually think that's why I love Game Pass so much. Actually, it's the perfect thing to go along with my Nintendo. It's like I'm playing my Switch. That's where I play most of my stuff at. And then I have Game Pass, which gets me so many of the indies that would come to Switch anyway. Plus, it gives me like that AAA gaming, and I don't have to buy all the games. I don't have to collect all the games. It's just I set it and forget it. And when it hits Game Pass, I play it there. So I think that's a big part of it.
Super Nintendo in chat wants to know, where is the Super Mario themed Joy-Con or Switch/Switch Lite?
Good point. There is very little fanfare with this. That was actually something that I was thinking while I was watching it. There was nothing.
And that was one of the things highest on your wish list.
It was. I wanted a whole box. I wanted to see a whole system. Super Mario 35th system with the game and Joy-Cons and the dock, and I would have bought it and would have traded in. I would have sold PlayStation 4 for one of those. I was ready. And we got none of it. That is at the very least, I would have said, at the very least, if this is their big game, I would have said a Lite. Do a Super Mario themed Lite with colored Joy-Cons and stuff.
Problems with manufacturing?
Probably.
Due to pandemic?
I think that's very, very possible.
That's my guess.
I would think, at least the Joy-Cons. And I'm wondering if they would have more announcements later with Joy-Cons.
Were the Mario Red, weren't they limited, or were they just in Japan?
They were Japan only, unless I think you got the bundle.
Maybe you could run those here. Maybe you could do like a short release of those. I have them. I imported them. But I was thinking at the very least, I was thinking like you could do like a red and gray or a red and white Joy-Con. That would have been awesome. I would have loved to have seen a red and white Joy-Con set.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah, with white buttons, white D-pad, and everything. That would have been. I would have bought them.
Brendan wants to know, with Mario 64 coming to the Switch, does this mean we won't get 64 games coming to the online services? We kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it. I think if they had that, I think they would have announced it. I don't see the value in holding off on it. Our Nintendo Switch Online, or at least mine, and my sub and my family plan renews next week.
Oh, yeah.
So I think their thing
That's
to keep
true.
you around is All-Stars.
That, and I still could maybe see them doing, if we do get, something, I don't know if we'll get another Direct in the next couple, month or two, but if we do, I could see them adding something like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, whatever it is, and then doing N64 next year if they wanted to, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem.
I'm thinking once it's delisted, Mario 64 is going to be in that 64 Nintendo Switch Online.
Like if it is, that's when it would happen.
That's more believable to me.
Do you think it would
than
be the
anything.
same game, or do you think it'd be like worse? Like it would be the original version. Like it
It would be the original ROM.
They even
the ori-
downgrade
yes.
it.
Yes.
Original control scheme. This is wonderful.
So we'll get like
definitely see that.
Digital Foundry side by side comparisons.
This polygon is less than this polygon.
Oh man, they zoom in. Like look at the detail of Mario's hat.
Authenticity, Donnie.
The M being
Authenticity.
now symmetrical or something. How the M on his hat.
Goodness.
I saw something about that.
Yeah, I don't think so. For whatever reason, I just don't know. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of evidence to support that there's Nintendo 64 support coming.
I think it would be fun. And again, I know we're not going to get all the N64 games that we want if we had this, but just like throw in like all the Nintendo related type of 64 games, and I would be fine with it. Like Super Smash Brothers on N64, that would be cool to mess around with. But that's probably the same thing as SNES.
I mean, I've got it on Wii U, and I don't think so. To back up your
Well, that's
point,
just you.
Rebecca, if they were going to do it, I actually think it probably makes more sense to wait next year when you do your Zelda, whatever.
Yeah, probably.
Ocarina, Majora's Mask, 64 versions.
Unless they're remastering those as well or porting them to a collection, then they won't do it.
If they do a Zelda collection and it is not Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, I'm going to buy it anyway, but I'm going to buy one just to like crack or something. I'm going to buy one to smash. Like I want to be really upset. I saw so many people today.
Or it
I'm sorry?
could be all four. It could be Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Ocarina, and Majora's Mask. All of the 3DS and Wii U ports.
I'm going to laugh if my Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time ports on 3DS is going to be better than those.
I saw so many people today who kept pulling out like all the 2D 2D Zeldas and the CDI Zeldas that Jason shared and everything. I'm just like, I swear,
If they do that,
I'm going to be so angry.
if they pull that evil.
Yeah, no, I think the ports would make sense, and then like Skyward Sword, and then the Virtual Console, and then Breath of the Wild 2. That's a hell of a celebration.
Ken Jab wants to know, with all of the Super Mario games releasing either before November or next year, there still isn't a big Nintendo release scheduled for November or December. Is this their holiday plan, or do you think something else is coming? And I think that's the $1 million question.
I do love that one of our questions was next direct. That's basically what this question is. Like, what's next, right? I mean, you have Pokemon DLC, and I think they're going to try to make that a big thing. It's been a while, right? I think that's going to be better than what the last one was. So that's a part of something. I think there are other games coming. We know there are other games coming. I absolutely think we have another publisher direct, partner direct in store coming.
For sure.
We know there has to be.
Yeah, we know that there has to be. So I think we have a few other things, my current game of the year being one of them. So there are other things coming to Switch that I think will pad it out. Is there another first-party release? If it's not Snap, then I don't know what it is. And I don't think it's Snap.
Yeah.
I think if
I don't
it was
think Snap would hold up as the holiday game, compared to what other holiday games we've had the past couple years.
I think 3D World
doesn't
was
hold up.
supposed to be it. And it got delayed.
It could have been.
I think that's what happened. I think 3D World was supposed to be November, the early November, December game, and it got delayed. COVID.
You think it's COVID, not like making more timing between the All-Stars and the
I
3D
absolutely
World?
think it's COVID. What it is I think that final area that I was saying, like this whole new campaign, I think it's bigger than what we think, and I think it needed more time. And it was delayed.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of a Nintendo game off the top of my head that would be released holiday.
Now, the only thing is, I'm thinking my original argument for it was, or I guess against it, was that they would need time to market this. But they're releasing a collection in 2 weeks without a build up for marketing.
It's so funny.
We only have Pikmin 4 until October. They're going to market that until October. So theoretically, they still could announce something this month or next month and market it for November.
Sure.
I didn't think so, but
They could.
they're doing it right now.
Oh, yeah. No, I think they totally could. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think they could. I think what they do... I mean, look, we don't know. I know there are other games. They're not first-party games that we know of, but I know there are other games coming. I think what you do is you maybe announce a bundle or a price drop or something for Black Friday. You do like some sort of bundle, like a Mario All-Stars bundle.
Pokemon for the DLC.
Pokemon Definitive Edition. You do that, and you cut the price. You know, like $199 Nintendo Switch Lite with Mario 3D All-Stars. You know, and you put that out there and you sell to get you through because they have third parties that are coming. Like, I know it doesn't seem like it's a lot, and I know it's on other systems or something, but like Apex is a really big deal for Switch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
for sure.
if it does what Fortnite did on Switch, like that might as well be a release for them. You know, like people are going to buy Switches to play Apex 100%. That's going to happen.
And also think about, like, we know that 3D All-Stars is coming in 2 weeks and it's a very short time. We know that, but the common customer probably doesn't know that. And
It's
if they
true.
just really push that marketing through the holidays, it's 3 Mario games.
They
It's
could
3
do an
classic
Odyssey
Mario
bundle.
games, too.
They could do a Breath
They're
of the
gonna
Wild
see that.
bundle. They can cut the prices. They can do all of that. You know, you can have $29.99 Breath of the Wild, $29.99 Odyssey, ARMS. Like, they can make noise without a new release. And I know people don't know what they want to hear. I'm with you. I would love for nothing more to be like, there's a brand new Donkey Kong nobody's known about. I just think if they had that, we'd know it. I think we'd have rumors of it. Think of how long we've had rumors of this Mario news and Pikmin. Those rumors dropped 6 months ago. We've known about it. If they had another game, I think we'd know about it. I think we'd know
True.
about it. And we don't, which makes me think that they don't. And I think that
Yeah.
DLC will be important. Competitive games. I think that's why they're holding on some of these games that we know about, these third-party games. They're spreading it out. They're going to kind of drop them every other week or so to kind of get you through January. That's the goal right now, to get you through January.
Sounds good.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, we're
I think
done.
So.
Okay.
It's going to do it for us this week here in the Nintendo Shack at a spiffy 1 hour, 24 minutes. I thought it would go a lot longer. Come back next week as we talk about all the games we've been playing. I had a few games that I played this week beat, so I was excited to talk about them. So we'll be
too.
back next week. We'll talk about all of that and more news that comes by. But for me, Donnie, Rebecca, and Garrett, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoy all the Mario news, and we will catch you next week. Good night, Koopalings.
Bye-bye.